If you want to master the basics of wave management, you need to master the three pillars, which are the hard push, the slow push, and the freeze. In this video, we will focus on the lane freezing. How, why, and when to freeze your lane. We will cover all the aspects of the macros, so don't hesitate to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. What does freeze your lane means? Freeze a lane is when you block the two waves of minions near your tower and let more of the enemy's minions kill yours. You can freeze your lane for several reasons. The first example is when you want to deny minions to your opponent, which will create a lead in gold and experience. This Cassiopeia vs Kayle is the perfect example. Kayle is a very weak champion in early game, so Cassiopeia takes advantage of this and freezes the lane near her tower. Then, you have to prevent your opponent from pushing the wave by zoning the champion with spells or basics attacks. So to freeze the lane, you must be more powerful than your opponent in order to zone the champion. So that your wave doesn't push to the enemy tower, you just have to last hit the minions, except if there are too many, but we'll see that later. Freeze a lane is perfect when your jungler can gank you. The position of the wave will force your enemy to move forward to kill the minions, which will put him in a situation where he is vulnerable to a gank. You can also take in consideration the range of the basics attacks and spells of the champions. In this case, Kassadin is even more exposed. He has only his Q to farm at distance. His Q has a cooldown between 11 and 9 seconds, which will force him to come forward in close range to kill the minions once his Q is in cooldown. When you freeze the lane, the enemy champion has several options. He can call his jungler to come and push the wave in order to reset the lane. But if his jungler can't or doesn't want to come, he can try to do it alone, but he might get killed. He still has another option. It is to roam on the rest of the map. This is where you have to estimate if the enemy champion can be a threat if he roams. For example, a level 3 Kassadin will not be a threat if he roams. So you can abuse the freeze to create a huge lead in gold and experience while being safe. But, if you are against the level 6 Qiyana in the mid lane, freezing the lane is very dangerous because she might roam and win the game on her own. It is cost effective to freeze a lane until around level 7. At level 2, 2 waves represent 1 full level, while at level 7, 2 waves represent 1/3 of a level. So the higher you go, the smaller the difference in level is. You should prefer to freeze at low level, because the higher you level up, the more opportunity you will give to your opponent to create play on the rest of the map. Now, how do you freeze a lane? So the goal is to maintain the wave without any push in one direction or the other. To do this, the closer you want to keep the waves to your tower, the more enemy minions you have to let hit yours. Why do you do this? Because when the next waves of minions arrive on the lane, yours will arrive faster than the other one since the waves are right in front of your tower. Your wave will have a lead of 5 to 6 seconds, which will balance the waves and keep the lane freeze. How many extra minions should you leave in the enemy wave? This will depend on where you want to keep the freeze. We'll start on the side lanes. Since the lanes are longer, you have more space to play with the lane freezing. If both waves are in the center, you need the same number of minions in both waves. If they are here, you can leave 1 to 2 more minions in the enemy wave. If it's here, you can leave 2 to 3 minions in the enemy wave. And finally, if you want to leave it here, you can leave 3 to 4. What if the waves freeze here, but you want the waves to be closer to your tower? Leave more enemy minions at first, and when the waves are where you want them to be, regulate the number of minions yourself to stabilize them. However, you have to take into account the minion cannons. If you have one in your wave, but not in the enemy wave, your wave will push, so make sure you try to keep the same type of minions in one wave and in the other. For the mid lane, you can leave 2 to 3 more in that area. Thank you for watching this video. Don't hesitate to subscribe if you don't want to miss our future videos, and to like and comment to help the channel to grow.